The first character here is Clark Kent. Okay, Clark is from another world. He arrives in Smallville in a spaceship. He lives on a farm with his mom and dad, Martha and Jonathan Kent. Clark is very special. He's very strong and he can move very fast. Right?
Yep, correct. Perfect.
Okay. The second character is Lana Lang. Or Lena. Lena or Lana?
Lena or Lana. But I would say it's Lena.
It's up to me?
Up to you.
Okay.
You have to ask her.
Okay. Lana Lang. Lana lives with her aunt Nell in a house next to the Kents. Clark loves her, but she has a boyfriend.
Right. Very good.
Okay. Lex Luthor. Lex is Lionel Luthor's son, but he is different from his father. He wants to help people. Pete Ross and Chloe. I don't know how to say her name.
Chloe.
Okay, Chloe Sullivan. Right? Okay, Pete Ross and Chloe Sullivan. And Pete and Chloe are Clark's best friends. Pete is funny and clever, but he doesn't like sports. Chloe came to Smallville from Metropolis. She writes for the school newspaper. She likes Clark.
Right.
And the last one character here is Whitney Fordman.
Correct.
Whitney is Lana's boyfriend. He's fantastic at sports and is in all the school teams, but he isn't a very nice person.
Right. Got it.
Right?
Yep, correct.
Okay.
Let's put them together.
So, Chapter 1, Arrival. A child arrives. 1989, Smallville, Kansas, United States. Suddenly the sky was dark. There were hundreds of meteors in the sky. They went faster and faster. There was a very small spaceship in the... Okay, this word, I don't know, in British English is center, right?
It's right, center.
In American accent is... It sounds like R in the middle of this word.
Center.
I don't know exactly. Center.
I think Americans spell it differently as well. I think they put ER, not RE.
Okay.
Center. But it's center.
Center. Okay. In the center of the meteors, there was one person in this spaceship. The spaceship is correct?
Correct.
Spaceship. A child. Nothing happened in Smallville. It was a small town in Kansas and it was a very boring place. Then, one day, everything changed. This last word changed with these two letters. ED. Changed?
ED. Changed.
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 So
it's like the past. So you can change something. It's usually you're changing it now or you're going to change something. But if it's in the past, it's changed. It's already changed.
Yeah. Okay, because there are some words with these two letters so hard to pronounce, you know. Okay, changed. Lionel Luthor arrived from Metropolis in his helicopter.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
He was a rich man, but he was not a nice man. He loved money, not people. His young son Lex sat next to him. Lex was 9 years old. He had red hair and blue eyes. His face was white and his eyes were closed. He was very frightened.
Correct.
Lex shouted his father.
Shouted.
Shouted his father. Open your eyes now. I can't, Lex said. I hate this helicopter. Luthors aren't frightened of anything. Lionel said. Look out of the window, now. Lex slowly opened his eyes and looked down. I'm going to die, he thought. Two men waited for the helicopter in the car park of an old factory. The men were brothers, Dale and Bill Ross. Why does Lionel Luthor want to buy our factory? Asked Dale. I don't know, said Bill, but we need his money. He isn't going to change anything. He told us that, and I believed him. Right? And I believed him.
I believe.
Okay. Jonathan Kent and his wife Martha went into a shop on the main street. Their faces were brown from the sun and their jeans were old. They lived on a farm. Afternoon, Nell, Jonathan said. Hello, Jonathan, Nell said. She smiled at him. She liked Jonathan. Hello, Martha, she said. She didn't smile at Martha. She didn't like her. I'd like some, I don't know how to say this.
Tulips. Tulips. Yeah, it's a flower.
Tulips.
Tulips.
Ah, okay. Tulips. So, I'd like some tulips, said Martha. Red tulips, please. There was a little girl in the shop. She was very pretty with dark hair. She was 3 years old. Hello, Lena, said Martha. Where are your mom and your dad today? They're at a homecoming game, Nell said. Here are your tulips. She gave them to Jonathan. In the street, Martha said sadly, Oh, Jonathan, I looked at Lana's little face and She stopped. I know, Martha, said Jonathan. We both want a child. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And below this picture, there is an explanation about
the picture.
Yeah.
Or an explanation about the USA's
homecoming game.
Mm-hmm.
High schools in the US have a big football game every October. Mm-hmm. It's called the homecoming game. There is a homecoming dance too.
Right.
Okay. The meteors came closer and closer. At the factory, Lex was bored. He walked bored.
Mm-hmm.
Bored. Okay. Bored. At the factory, Lex was bored. Mm-hmm. He walked away into a cornfield next to the factory. Mm-hmm. Okay. Lionel Luthor read the papers. Where do I put my name? He asked the Ross brothers. He smiled. The factory was his now. Along the field, Lex suddenly heard something. Help me!
It's good.
Yeah, I'm a great actor.
Good. It makes it interesting for me to listen to, so that's great. I like it.
Okay. Oh my gosh. What was it? What was it? Then he heard it again. Help me! He walked through the corn, and suddenly there was a scarecrow, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, scarecrow.
Lex was frightened. That scarecrow can talk, he thought. But then, it wasn't a scarecrow. It was a teenage boy. The boy was in a big wooden pole.
Mm-hmm.
He had no shirt. There was a big red S on the front of his body. Help me, please, he said one more time. Vroom.
Very good. I like what you said that.
Yes. The first big meteors crashed into the cornfield. Lex ran. A car stopped opposite Nell's shop on Main Street.
Opposite.
Okay, I'll try it again. A car stopped opposite, right?
Yep.
Opposite Nell's shop on Main Street. Nell took little Lana in her arms and walked out of the shop. Lois and Laura Lang were in the car. Lana saw them. "Mommy, Daddy," she shouted. Shouted, right?
Correct.
Okay. Nell looked up and saw a big meteor in the sky. The meteors the meteors crashed into the Lang's car. And the meteors crashed into the Lang's car. Lena's parents were dead.
Right.
Lionel Luther ran across the cornfield. "Lex, where are you?" he shouted. He saw some red hair on the ground. Then he found his son. Lex was on the ground. He was very frightened. But where was his beautiful red hair? He was 9 years old, and he now had no hair at all. Jonathan and Martha Kent were on their way home. Suddenly a meteor hit the road behind them. "What was that, Jonathan?" asked Martha. "What is happening?" Zoom again. A spaceship crashed into the road in front of them. Jonathan tried to stop the car, but it crashed into a cornfield. When they opened their eyes, they saw a boy. He was about 3 years old, and he had no clothes. The boy pulled Jonathan's car door. It opened. Then he pulled Martha's car door. It opened too. Martha and Jonathan were very surprised. They were soon out of the car. Martha took the boy in her arms. "Are you okay?" asked Jonathan. "Yes, I'm fine." "You?" said Martha. "Yes. Children don't fall from the sky," Jonathan said. Then, "Where did he come from?" "Where did he come from?" Martha asked. "I don't think his mom and dad are from Kansas." "We can't keep him, Martha," said Jonathan. "What can we say to people? We found him in a cornfield?" "We didn't find him, Jonathan," said Martha. "He found us." Okay, and I would like to read the chapter 2.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. I'm enjoying the story.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's about
you're a great storyteller. I like it.
Yeah, and I would like that you read now.
You want me to read?
But before this, what did you think about my reading?
Very good. Your reading's very good. It's very good.
Really?
It's very entertaining. You paused when there was you paused at the commas, you stopped at the full stops. It was easy to listen to. You were telling the story. Some people read and they just go, Jonathan and Martha took the boy home from their farm. They named him Clark. They didn't tell him about his arrival. They didn't tell other people either. It is blah, 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 blah. But yours isn't. Okay. Yours was quite entertaining. I was like going, oh, what happens next? Wow, what are they doing? Like I was interested, which is great. Great reading skills. Oh, so very good.
Thank you.
Great storytelling.
Thanks a lot, because I guess it's very important when you practice this kind of exercise, because you can improve two skills. Mm-hmm. Oh, actually 3 skills: reading, speaking, yes, and listening at the same time.